Caught him.
Did
Welcome
you?
back to Bet with the Boys. Caught Jake slipping. I hope you guys caught that as well. I was also trying to make my shirt a V-neck to start the video to match my colleagues, but
Yeah, that
uh,
was a bad
couldn't rock.
purchase. I thought I was buying some crew necks. Got my size, cheap box of them. V necks. Terrible move.
He went from a suit and tie to a V-neck.
Yeah. Well, this is what's under the suit and tie. This is the real me.
Yeah, a big switch up. But this is our Saturday. This is our no, not our Saturday look. Our Sunday look. Uh, Tomorrow we'll be back in our best.
Yeah. Back dressed to impress. But our bets
Against
have been doing
success.
pretty well. Terrible beat last night in the Kansas game. They had the game won twice. They blew a 6-point lead in the second overtime, or was it first?
They just blew it all around.
Yeah,
I actually lost hearing in my left ear last night. I got a phone call during the game, and Jake just, letting it eat.
I was going
I
off.
He was going off. I can't hear out of my left ear today. Still stopped up from the COVID, uh, but terrible beat in the Kansas game. They were up by 6 at the end of the first overtime with like 15 seconds left. They were up 6 shooting 2 free throws. So we got to rant about this. Jawan Harris, whatever his name is a cardio king. He's just out there doing cardio because they put him at the free throw line, starting point guard for Kansas for whatever reason. Put him at the free throw line, he misses both. He had a chance to make it a 3 possession game, which would have been huge, and he missed both. And then they come down, hit a three. They throw the inbounds right to him, like here you can have it. And then they hit a three to tie it. And then of course they go to a second overtime and lose.
Yeah, I mean that's just one of the worst beats you can have. 6 points with the ball, shooting free throws with like 16 seconds left, and you lose that game.
Yep. And the worst part about it all is the Tennessee game was supposed to come on right after Kansas. And it's like, all right, this should be won in regulation. 15 seconds left. It's under control. Kansas was like minus 3,000 to win at that point on the odds.
Yeah,
And then, Tennessee game is just, I see it's on ESPN News and I have to change the channel. So I'm watching the Kansas game on my phone and then watching the Tennessee game on there. It was just ridiculous.
yeah, terrible beat. I mean, one of the worst we've ever seen.
Yeah,
But
you want to keep going on about it?
no, I was about to move on to the Texas game. Yeah, it's just hard, man. Anyway, yeah,
But we're
but
still on I think we're 6-1 now in our last seven, and a 14-5 run.
yeah, we were hoping to be on that 8-0, 7-0 train, but
Yeah.
6-1 is nothing to complain about. We have 4 bets today, so hopefully we can sweep those and get back to our winning ways.
Yep. First off, before we get into the picks, we do have a parlay at the end of this. We're going to give out for the conference championships. Just too good of an opportunity to pass up on. Nothing crazy. A little three-legger. It comes out to plus like 270 odds, and they do have promotions going on right now on DraftKings, which we should be sponsored by the way. But hint,
I
hint.
agree.
But anyways, they give you your bonus bet back up to $20, I believe. So do with that what you want. But we don't take parlays unless it's something like that usually.
Yeah,
Like and subscribe to the videos. On the road to 2.2K still, so every little bit helps. Like the videos or the pick won't hit. And then if you want to become a member, you will get a shout out. It's only $2.99 a month. Great way to support the channel. We appreciate all you guys. And shout out to our newest member, Nobody, because we didn't gain one. But yeah, shout them out.
thank you, nobody.
Yeah, biggest fan.
Yeah,
All right, we'll get into the picks. Pick number one.
yeah. This is just watching the season, guys. Eagles -6. They just continue to win. Nothing really matters. They create drama themselves. A little foreshadowing to a pick we have later on, but yeah, I mean, Eagles just continue to churn. I think last week was the Super Bowl for the Commanders. I mean, huge win, great rookie season, but there's a reason not a lot of rookie quarterbacks go to the Super Bowl is because in these NFC, let me start that sentence again. In these NFC Championship games, the level of competition is too much. Eagles at home, I think they're going to another Super Bowl. I think they win this kind of easily.
It'll be the third matchup between the Commanders, and they have split. The first two, Eagles win in the first one, Commanders win in the second one. I think the home field advantage is going to play a part here, and I'm so glad the Super Bowl isn't outdoors. They always put it in a dome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't want weather being a factor in those games. As much fun as it is to watch a snow game, but yeah, Eagles -6 here. It's already 6.5 on FanDuel, which we think is the sharpest book. You know how much we hate the Eagles, so to be picking them, you know, we feel pretty. I mean, I guess we feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, we feel pretty strongly if we're going to be betting against teams we hate or with teams we hate.
Yeah. That being said, go Commanders. And then pick number two, AJ Brown, the foreshadowing Jake threw at y'all. More receiving yards than Terry McLaurin here. So usually we just take uh, a player over his receiving yards, but this one just stood out to me too much because in the last three games, Terry McLaurin has beat AJ Brown head to head in all three of these. I know they weren't playing each other, but AJ Brown had 10 yards in his last game, 14 in the one before that, and the one before that, I think it was what, 20 something,
30.
30
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't anything impressive. And then Terry McLaurin's just been going off. So the fact that AJ Brown is favored to have more receiving yards than Terry McLaurin is pretty telling. And then if you want to cover the head-to-head matchups last time they played,
So head to head, what did AJ Brown have to Terry? It was sort of close, 80 or 90 yards the first game
yeah,
for AJ.
I think he had 95 yards in one of his games against the Commanders. So the Commanders have been struggling to contain him. And then on the other hand, the Eagles have been doing a much better job at containing Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, he had 10 yards the last time they played. Terry McLaurin did. So they do pretty good covering him. AJ Brown has beat him head to head in both games this year, and with these odds, seeing AJ Brown projected for more receiving yards, it is kind of crazy. Um, but I guess the books remember the head to head, and we're going with them.
Yep. Basically betting with the books here. But it was either I think it was the first game Terry McLaurin had 10 yards. I didn't write
Okay.
it down. I didn't write it down, but he has beat him in head to head when they play each other. So,
Yeah.
all right, moving on to the AFC Conference Championship. We do have two player props in that. We did not uh, pick a side in this one, but first pick, we're going with Josh Allen. Anytime touchdown, -115 on DraftKings. Best place you can find it. Dude's been an absolute beast. They get down to the 1 or 2 yard line. They're just going to sneak it in and do the spin off for the tush push like the Eagles do.
Yeah. Well, I would argue that he's the scariest playoff touchdown threat in the game in both these games. I mean, obviously Saquon can break one at any time, but Josh Allen just seems to always get in these big games, get in the end zone. So I think he's going to do it again. And when he's running on 3rd and 4, when he's scrambling, he's the toughest guy to get down before he reaches either the first down or the end zone.
Yeah, they call him Superman for a reason. He's always jumping, extending the ball, which can be dangerous, and I'm sure the coaches hold their breath. But I mean, he's doing whatever it takes. It's like he cannot be stopped. So, you know, I like this too. And it's not like so in Philly, you got Jalen Hurts vulturing Saquon for touchdowns,
Oh
but
man,
in the Bills, you don't have James Cook vulturing Josh Allen, which is kind of backwards. It's always like the quarterback vultured from the running back. But
yeah.
yeah, I
I
don't.
can't remember the exact number, but it was something crazy that if they would have handed the ball to Saquon, he would have had like 10 more touchdowns from the 1 yard line.
Yeah,
He definitely would have won an MVP.
yeah, for sure. So, anyways, Josh Allen, anytime touchdown. And then the fourth pick, before we get into our parlay, stick around for that. Don't just log off after this. We got Patrick Mahomes, over 22.5 rushing yards, -110 on FanDuel's. Best place you can find it. This one's diabolical. This one's surgical. We been digging through some stats, and we've always talked about Patrick Mahomes running in the playoffs. He just shuts it down during the regular season and then turns it loose during the playoffs.
Yeah, he's a incredible scrambler in the playoffs, especially. I would never take over his rushing yards unless it's a huge game during the regular season, but when he's in the playoffs, he always has just like a few of those back breaking runs. It's 3rd and 9. You get a stop, you think, everybody's covered downfield, and he just breaks it for 11 yards and goes out of bounds. I mean, he's just a king in the playoffs of those back-breaking runs, and I think he's going to get a few of those today.
Yeah, he's played the Bills in the playoffs now 3 times, I believe. And last year in the Super Bowl, me and Jake were actually talking about this before we got on. Patrick Mahomes had 66 yards rushing in the playoffs last year,
In the Super Bowl.
or in the Super Bowl. My bad.
Yeah.
But I just feel like this line's incredibly low. We'll be looking back on it. Dude, he might get this by halftime.
He really might.
Yeah, I mean, he ran 7 times last week. Maybe one or two of those were kneel downs because they do count kneel downs as rushing attempts. But yeah, I really like this number.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so
Yeah,
parlay
and then the parlay, we have actually
three
it's three
legs
legs. Yeah,
plus 270 on DraftKings. We didn't really shop around to find the best odds because DraftKings had the no sweat bet for this on your parlay.
yeah. We took Mahomes over his rushing yards. We took the
So we took,
Bills plus 7.5, and then what was the last leg?
it would have been great if we wrote this down. We took AJ Brown 50 plus rushing yards, or
Uh,
yeah,
rec-
50 plus receiving yards.
yes, that's right. All right, so AJ Brown 50 plus receiving yards, Mahomes over his rushing yards, and Bills plus 7.5. We
Yep.
think this is going to be a close game. I think the Bills could win it. Not willing to put my money on it, but 7.5 feels pretty comfortable. And then obviously we feel good about AJ Brown and Mahomes.
Yeah, 3 leg plus 270. I would write this stuff down. If I could buy pen and paper, if you guys would just become a member, I could get pen and paper and write these down for you guys.
Yeah, yeah,
That is good. Or if I cash this parlay.
yeah, for real. I really like this parlay though. We don't, like you said, we don't throw out parlays typically, but we feel good about this one. It's NFC and AFC championship week. We got to do a little something special.
Yeah. Usually we throw out parlays though when we hit like a celebration, like a 2000 next milestone would be 2,300 subscribers. But I don't want to wait till I'm 70 before I do that. So get one in. We'll get one in this year.
Yeah,
If we have to do it ourselves.
yeah.
Yeah.
Please like and subscribe. But yeah, that's it for us. Those are 4 bets and a parlay.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we just absolutely kill it today, make a ton of money, and come back tomorrow, maybe in a suit and tie, and see what we can do tomorrow.
Yeah. That being said, go Bills. We're both pulling for them pretty hard this year. So even though I wouldn't be mad if Mahomes made it, so it's kind of a win-win for me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it for
Bet,
us.
yeah, bet responsibly. Always bet with the boys, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you guys.